Hey there, everybody. I'm Matt, and I guess I'll firstly apologize for the lighting and sound situation and stuff. I tried to do a whole setup inside, fix camera, didn't have shit for my mic though, but good lighting and stuff like that. But I was finding this whole subject kind of hard to share while stationary and not moving around. It's kind of uncomfortable, but I'm trying to do this and have a fucking smoke while I'm doing it. Don't smoke, it's terrible. I don't endorse it. It's really a shaming, but we all have our own problems. So what I'm trying to rabble through here at the beginning is I've decided through this defunct, stupid attempt at some Let's Play stuff and a bong review that has over 5,000 hits that I just saw when I started dicking with this account. But I want to start sharing my battle with epilepsy that I've been going through a little bit now. Kind of spurred on by YouTubers like Electric Epilepsy and the people on Reddit on r/epilepsy, just kind of a support group for people who are struggling with this so we can talk to each other and deal with and figure this whole thing out. But I've found through the support of my friends and family while going through this that talking is a very interesting venue to explore and figure out what's going on. I'm going to keep rambling, I guess, unless I get to the point. So this being my inaugural video, I want to just talk about when I started this, when I had my first seizure, because I'm 31 and I only had my first seizure back in November of 2018. This is all a very new and frankly kind of scary, but it's a process, that I'm figuring out. So it happened at the end of November. If you can't figure out from, the screen name Shakes the Comic Guy and stuff, they've given me to my friend at work recently. I kind of liked it, so I decided to go with it. But I'm a nerdy guy, and I kind of just hang out at home and read, comic books and play games. So I was hanging out in my room playing Assassin's Creed, just, with my little dog and stuff like I would on any night. And I'm sitting on my bed, playing the game, just laying down on my bed, and I go and I get a beer. And I don't really even remember opening the beer, but next thing I knew, I was in my front yard, being led by and sat down with paramedics. It was all very confusing, very scary, just snap of the moment, that's what happened. And a bunch of EMTs there. There's a fire truck in my front lawn. Cops are going around the house, and my roommate and sister are with me in the front yard while I'm being sat down on just I think a milk crate that someone pulled out. And I just was confused and had no idea what was going on. It was all such a daze. I was being told to calm down, you're going to be okay. You just had a seizure. Can you talk with us? And I wasn't even able to talk. I just stared around. It was so surreal. It was like I was in a dream. I've never had a seizure before and never had an experience like this at all. I just thought it couldn't be happening. There was some mistake. I didn't know what was going on. And I was trying to get up and just process, kind of like where I am even right now, in trying to, handle it. I move around. I fidget a lot. And I just had to get going. Nothing, like if I got going, things would be okay. And they kept telling me to calm down, calm down. And it just, it wasn't working. And I didn't understand why my sister was at my house. She only lives a few blocks away, but she wasn't at my house a moment ago. Like I was in my room just playing video games. And then a close family friend and neighbor of my mother comes running up the driveway and asking to be let past all the police and paramedics and firefighters. And that kind of moment, it clicked me. I suddenly realized for her to be here in, the middle of the night and stuff, something right wasn't happening. And I kind of sat down, and that's when I started coming to. And the paramedics told me that I had just had a grand mal seizure. And that's when we start the paramedic process and stuff. But by my roommate and sister being there, I found out what the whole story was. So, from when I was playing video games in my room and I opened the beer and stuff, I guess what happened next after that was I paused the game. When I finally came home, I saw the game was paused. So that, a matter of hours, system didn't turn off. But I went into his room, and I guess I was, holding my beer and stuff, and I walked into his room and just took a few sips of my beer, and he thought I came in to watch him play video games. Who knows what he was even playing that night, but, randomly just wander around, see what he's doing and bullshit and stuff. And I was drinking my beer, not saying anything, and he was joking at me about giving him, the silent treatment or something like that. And I didn't say anything. As I said, I just have no memory of any of this. This is only known because my roommate and my sister filled me in. But I walked into his room, I drank a few sips of beer, and I guess I just started coughing violently. And he thought for that point I was, still fucking with him. It was some little bit, and I just collapsed to the ground and started seizing and vomiting almost immediately. Full body seizure and all of that. And not the first friend he's had who's had a seizure. So luckily he could tell what was going on and called 911 right away. And that went on for several minutes, I guess. He says almost about 5 minutes before I even lessened in my seizures and stuff. The cops got to my house first, actually, while I was still seizing. And I guess between him going out to open the door and let the police in and coming back, that's when I had stopped seizing, but I was still unconscious and just vomit and a puddle of sweat and I'd bitten my tongue really bad. There was blood everywhere. He thought I was actually vomiting up blood. And the cops got there and were assessing if I was okay, kind of a whole process with the house and the people, the roommates that lived here. And after about a minute or two of them checking on me and I guess, radioing back in stuff, I just got up. And everyone thought I was okay, but I still have no memory of this at this point. And I was completely verbally unresponsive, didn't even really apparently act like anyone was talking to me, and just kind of started wandering the house for, about another 8 minutes or so, according to my roommate. And then the fire truck arrived and the EMT started to arrive, but I was just wandering around my house completely aimlessly. And apparently I actually started getting aggressive with the cops, who kept trying to calm me down and get me to stop pacing through the house and settle me down. And I was just getting angry with them and starting to try to push back. I actually have the vaguest memory of a cop telling me to calm down very sternly. It's going to be okay. Stop being aggressive. And my roommate telling him that I had a seizure. I'm clearly not okay. I don't normally act like this. And I'm clearly being scared by him. That's the only memory I actually have in the entire process of the seizure until I get sat down outside, which still took another minute or two to get me outside, and then I wouldn't sit down on the milk crate. but already like went through that before. I guess my sister arrived at some point there. I don't even remember her arriving or talking to me or anything. My roommate, after calling 911, made a call to my local bar where my family and friends and close family and neighbors, everyone hangs out there, congregates. So he knew if he called there, he'd get someone in contact with someone who had a number to get in contact with my mom and my family and stuff. And after all of that, bear with me 1 minute. Like, I know it's terrible and I shouldn't be doing it, but it's really helping me to focus on like a thing so I can get through the process of talking. I'll be better in the future. So I'm outside. I'm getting tested by the EMTs. It's all, a complete haze. And eventually I calm down. I start letting them do the tests. And we just start, getting to questions and stuff. And it's just still this nebulous blur for me. I've heard all sides of it and stuff and what they saw, but it's still dream is the closest thing I guess I could say, but that's the nature of it. And then they finally started to get me to be okay with being put on the gurney and put into an ambulance. Just went to the hospital. It did a whole bunch of tests. I spent a couple of hours in the ER. This thing fucking off focus on me. There, that's better. I didn't notice when that happened. I wasn't paying attention to the camera. And sorry. It's waves of emotion I'm trying to work with and just talking about and thinking about the night and stuff. I got brought to the hospital, whole suite and stuff. Ended up getting an MRI, and by the time I had the MRI happen is when my family and my sister and my mother and our close friend who came to the house, who was the person who snapped me out of it for the whatever reason that was, and my girlfriend all arrived. They got the MRI activated and done real quick. I guess I'd only been there for like 45 minutes or something, but that time felt like just hours of being alone and scared and not knowing what's going on. But they arrived, and yeah, I had a grand mal seizure, as they said, but no real evidence or anything came up on the MRIs and stuff. And my mom left a little bit before that, and my girlfriend drove me home. And I'm gonna switch arms. Oh, the sound quality's probably gonna get fucked up. The angle's all weird now, but whatever. I could deal with it for the moment. I guess I'd say you guys can, but then my girlfriend drove me home, and beforehand, she decided, I think she was kind of in on a thing, that we should stop by the bar real quick. She had a rough night and just wanted like a quick drink and stuff, and I was too out of it to notice that it was like 3:45 in the morning. The bar shouldn't be goddamn open. And we go inside, and my mom, my sister, or one of our best family friends, the owner of the bar, and so many of my close and dear friends, just through family, or like as I said, it's a little neighborhood. We all congregate at this bar and hang out, but just like everybody I knew and everybody I needed to see in that moment, they were all there, just waiting for me to get out of the hospital and see if I'm okay. And I'm tearing up now, obviously, just thinking about it. Oh, but there, standing in the door, I nearly broke. I just couldn't even handle the wave of emotions of, for the first moment after this entire surreal ordeal, which I really don't even remember now. It's all vague, dreamlike moments and the things that, all of my friends and family and roommate and stuff who were there to handle it and make sure I was safe. Everyone was there to see that I was okay and help me get through a scary time. And it was one of the best feelings I've ever had after one of the scariest moments of my entire life. And that I could babble on it forever, but that was a wonderful way to deal with to get through and get out of the moment. And then immediately after that, I realized I had been at home and in my room, and I only had on a t-shirt and a pair of boxers, and that was it. So that was a wonderful balancing moment. Went and got some freaking clothes out of the lost and found, and that was all okay. And that was just the first night. I'm probably going to make another video about this in the day or two in the follow-up and the various doctor visits I've had and ending up with a diagnosis and figuring out that I've had actually pretty severe epilepsy my entire life, and it's been misdiagnosed as various different things over many years. Eventually, like, it's, having full-blown major anxiety attacks where I vomit, turns out seizures and stuff like that. Sorry. But this is this me talking here to you people, anyone who wants to listen, who this might help them to, just in being able to see another person's side of it and experience and realize you're not alone. I mean, that's the part of the process that's happening here for me as well. As I said, I'm babbling a bit here, but the production quality here will get better. I just didn't have any of my gear, and the thought of doing this and talking like I just did here and knowing I was going to get emotional and cry while going through a lot of it was too much for just sitting down and like talking to a camera. But that production quality will improve. I'll probably start getting a little more streamlined in with how I'm going to discuss and talk about this, because I'm still in the middle of this process. There is more to learn every day, and I just hope I can help people through that. I mean, I'm apparently going in to get brain surgery here in the next few months after everything we've exhausted. That's a whole process that I'm trying to figure out and want to maybe document and help talk some other people through if they have to have this happen. Like, I know I'm not alone in this, but I want to help other people feel like they are not alone and it's not a completely isolated incident. As I said, I'll probably do another one of these in the next few days, start getting a little more professional about it, but this is very new. But now here at the end of my first video, I'm feeling very good that I'm trying to do this. So thank you everybody who has gotten through this nearly 20 minutes of rambling of me on my terrible freaking camera phone, wandering through a poorly lit, except for the one light, backyard in the middle of the evening. But I just felt compelled, like I needed to do this. This is an attempt to try to be a healthy thing to do a healthy thing through a hard time. Yeah, just more babbling, but whole point is thank you and best of wishes and love to everyone else who took the time to watch this and is having a hard time to go through. Like, I'm there for you as well. Have a great day. Thank you very much.